I hid my age the first few semesters of college, and here's why. First, I want to start off this video by saying this is the first ever video I'm making with my new hair color. I love it so much. OMG. I was trying to go like a ginger copper type look. It's not styled yet, obviously. It's just like in a ponytail, but I'm hoping to style it soon so you can get the full effect. But this is what it's looking like now. Also, I hope this video doesn't go long. I know I love to talk, but I just hope it doesn't go long because my phone's about to die. And I have homework to finish that's due tonight. So we gotta wrap it up, okay? But I want to talk about a topic that I don't really see online as much unless I'm really searching for it. And stain. I just want to talk about it because obviously it's something I'm going through. I know this title seems very sketchy. First, I did not actually lie about my age in my college application. Let's just get that ahead right now. I think that's like a federal offense or something. Just got a message. It's like a federal offense or something, so I did not actually hide my age, but I'm gonna get into the video of why the title's like that. So just to jump right in, I want to get into my background of schooling. Of course, 2017 is when I graduated high school, so that's like, I don't know the math now, like 6-7 years ago. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm old. That is so crazy. But yeah, May of 2017, I graduated high school. And of course, college was always on my mind. Like anyone else. I mean, not anyone else, but you know, like, if college was always in my mind because I was like, I just want to do better in life. And I just don't want to know the struggles of just not having, you know, money and stuff. So I want to go to college to secure my future, to have a better funding and everything else. So that's what I did. I was applying to community college. First, I wasn't really sure how financial aid and all that other stuff really worked back then. I mostly got help from my counselors, and they helped me, well, my counselor, yeah, they helped me with like filling applications and doing this and that. So I was aiming low. Like, I didn't aim to like the prestigious schools like Harvard or something, because first, I know I cannot get into Harvard or Yale. Like, I'm not even trying to speak any bad on me. I just know I wouldn't be able to get into that. And also, I wasn't really looking university because I feel like, oh my God, if I do universities, it's gonna cost money. It's gonna I'm gonna have to, you know, moving costs money. I was really limiting myself. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do community college because it's technically free to apply. Technically free because you don't really pay because financial aid. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it for like 2 years and we can move on. So fast forward, I get into community college. Like, I go the August after I graduate. Yeah, the month of August after I graduate. And it was like cool. I was like, oh my gosh, it's college. Like, I'm on my own. I'm doing things, going to classes, you know, commuting. I was like taking the bus and stuff. And this is cool, really cool. So, I want to say, like, I was going good for like a few semesters, maybe like 2 semesters or something. But then somehow I just either, like I said, I didn't understand financial aid. Like, I could have really asked my family because, like, most people in my family didn't really go to college and, you know, they didn't go off and do those things. So I could have really asked them. Like, I will ask them, but it would just be iffy on the answers. And I just didn't know how financial aid worked. But somehow I've had a financial hold on my account, which prevented me from registering for classes. And I'm like what? How do I have a hold and where did it come from? Whatever. So I had this hold, which literally had me take like a good amount of break from school, which I hated so much. Like, this was like a whole semester of schooling I could have did, and I had to take a break because of this dumb financial hold that I have to wait to get paid off to be able to go back to school. So I was like kind of sad about that. I was mostly working because I already had this other job I had that I got when I was in high school, and I was just working with them for the time being. I was like, okay, I guess I'll work with you guys. And then I remember even working that job and going to school would clash. Like, I would be late. For my community college, I had to take a shuttle to a community college, there's community college but in a different area, far away. So that shuttle would run late. I would get back to my main campus late, which would cause me to be late to go to work. And it was just this whole mess thing. So I'm like, okay, let me just work more. So I worked and worked for, I want to say like about a year. Sorry, my ears are kind of iffy a little bit, but I want to say kind of like a year. I would work and just make money and do everything and just not really focus on school because I couldn't do schooling. So I do remember one time either I got something fixed or I was able to pay off my hold. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Let me go back to school and finish my education, because at this point I think I only did like maybe 2 semesters of school. Sorry, noise is back there. 2 semesters of school. So I was like, okay, this is good. I can go back to school and register for classes. So I decided to do summer classes. Once again, I did not know anything about how it worked, how funding worked, but apparently the summer class I did, financial aid was not able to pay it. But in my head, I thought financial aid was able to pay it, but apparently I was supposed to apply for a whole different financial aid that would pay for summer. And I took a summer class, like an English class, so I was like, okay, this is weird. What am I supposed to do now? So I was taking that class, like there was no really issues while I was taking that English class in the summer, but all the issues came afterwards. When I found out like I had a hold, and it was like not even a cheap hold. I think it was probably over $1,000, like financial aid hold. I'm like, great, I have to stop going to school again. But that same summer I was taking that summer class, I actually moved out of state. Some of us, we moved to Missouri, and we lived there for like, I can't even tell you, maybe like 9 months or something. And at that time, I couldn't go to school because first I couldn't get my transcript from my other elementary. I couldn't get a transcript from my other community college I went to because I owed them money. So when you owe money, you're not able to get like the simplest thing, a transcript, which is, that's a whole other thing. But I kind of don't like that. I mean, I guess I get it because like, why leave that school if you owe money at a different school? But I'm like, I don't know. They should give me my transcript. When I moved there, I was thinking like there was like a university like right near us in Missouri. So I was thinking like, okay, maybe I could try to apply for this university and go to school there and try to get some credits in. But like I said, I couldn't get my transcript, and really me applying to that university with no like transcript or anything, it's kind of like me starting over. And I kind of want to do that. Like I still did put in enough work for me to be able to, you know, have more credits. But if I just apply like that, I don't know, I probably would have gotten in. So I was bummed, and living in Missouri, I was like, okay, well, I know what to do. So I worked and I worked and worked and worked. I do have a video of where I worked and everything, my experience working there. I did post a long video about working at Hog Factory. So I worked there without going to school. So I moved back to Maryland. Fast forward, this is all fast forward. I moved back to Maryland and I get settled in, and there was one time there was a stimulus check. Is it called stimulus? No, unemployment checks, whatever people were getting during quarantine time. There was those checks, and for some reason I just wasn't getting it. I don't know if it's because there was like weird discrepancy of me just moving into the state, which they probably thought I still live in Missouri or something, but I wouldn't get those checks. So I remember emailing them. I'm like, hey, like I missed this much dates. Like I did my weekly certifications. Oh my god, this like bring back memories. I did my weekly certifications where I would, you know, fill out my week if I look for a job, whatever. I did all those, but I still get no money. I got no card. I don't know what to do. So thankfully, they responded back. I think I even wrote, I think I wrote to like Biden or something, whoever was president. I think it was Biden. I wrote to him, but part was his team, and they were able to help me out. And I got a check for $6,000 into my bank. Like one day out of my bank, out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, like where did this come from? And that was from the money they were supposed to pay me, like back pay, I guess is what you call it. I got that. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I need to use this money towards schooling. Like I need to go to school. Like I'm tired of working at the same job and feel like I'm not going anywhere. So I'm like, I'm going to use this money to help me with school, which I did. I paid off my community college fee, the financial aid hold, whatever I had. I paid that off, and I decided to apply to a university. I applied to a university because first my brother went there and I heard a lot of good things about it. I have applied to this university before and got actually rejected. So I'm like, okay, let me try again 4 years in like ahead in the future. So I paid that off, the community college bill, and I was able to get my transcript and I applied to the university, which I am at now. And you know, I got accepted. I got the big mail. I got accepted. I was so excited. But it was so funny because like it was such like a good moment happening, and you know, like social media and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can post on my social media, but I paused because I'm like, would I be embarrassed if I post it? Kind of, that is what this video is on about, which, like I said, the title may be a little misleading, but it's basically me just being how I felt embarrassed of being in school so late when all my peers and stuff like are about to graduate and everything, and I'm still in school. And I just want to talk to you guys of how I overcame that and how like it's still like a learning process for me. Like, no, like, hey, it doesn't matter. Literally, people in college are any age. Like, you can have 40-year-olds in college. But I'm going to tell you guys about just my feelings during that time. So, like I said, I got accepted to university. If I find a video, maybe I'll put it up. I think my sister filmed like a video. So I got accepted. I was so excited. Like, I was hesitant of posting it the day, obviously the day of. Really, that's me anyway. And anytime I get news or something, I don't really tell people about it like the day of so soon. I just wait a little bit. So I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to college. I'm going to college. And I'm like telling parents stuff. They're like, oh wow, like it's crazy. Like, you're going to live on campus. I'm like, yeah, I live on campus. And it was kind of like oh really, like you live on campus, like how you gonna get there? You know, I was still like so like in the clouds. I'm like, I just got accepted to university, like I'm so excited. Like, and at this point it was 2021, so I was set to start spring of 2022. So I was 2021 November, I was 22 here. Yeah, so it was 22 and I was set to start the spring of 2022. So I was so excited. So just happy for myself. And I remember when it was the new year, so we were getting into, either it was about to be New Year's or something. I remember doing like a recap on my, guys, my camera really cut off. But as I was saying, I was doing like a recap on the story showing like things that happened a year prior. And I posted like my acceptance letter. I was like, this is one of the biggest blessings that happened. I'm so excited. And I remember getting likes on the story and everything. And I was just like really in the clouds, but still in the back of my head, I'm like, what if there's like some people who like was just wondered like, oh, she's just got accepted to college and university, and you know, thinking those things. So I was super duper excited. So fast forward once again, it's move-in time and I am super excited. Like, I'm finally got things done with financial aid, make sure I did everything correctly, make sure I, you know, put all the right information, living on campus, all that stuff to make sure I'm not really stuck with another issue again. So it's move-in time. I move in and I am finally just in a new environment on my own, and I'm super excited. Like, I have roommates and it was just a whole different experience for me, which is so good. Like, I feel like everyone should really experience just that life, college life, I guess. You obviously don't have to be in college, but like just the life of living on your own, be on your own. I think it's just really great to experience that. I'm in college and I'm like, you know, in classes, meeting new people, getting to know more about where people came from, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, sometimes when you're talking to someone, they'll be like, oh, like, so how old are you? And I just hated this question so much. Like, I hated it so much because I'm like, oh gosh, like, first they're gonna ask how old I am, and then they're gonna be like, oh, like, what grade are you? And then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm this grade. And I don't know, I just felt like I was gonna just get automatically judged on the spot for being my age in this grade. But when I first actually moved in, I was thinking, okay, I already did like kind of like 2 years ish of college. I didn't know how it really worked. So I'm probably like, you know, a junior right now. So I'm probably have like a few credits to get done and I could be out of here. So not true. First thing, I went into this new university with a whole different major. I think at community college I did like general studies, but then I switched to nursing like at this university. So I didn't like expect everything that came with first being in nursing, all the classes I had to take, and also core classes. You have to do core classes. You have to do all these things. I wasn't really aware of that, but I'm like thinking like, oh, I'm probably like, you know, second semester sophomore or like a first semester junior, whatever. So I remember I had a meeting with my advisor and she was talking like, yeah, so you still gotta take these classes and you're considered a freshman. I'm like, wait, freshman? I'm like, how am I a freshman if I've done community college? Like, I've done my credits and stuff. She's like, oh no, like, you just don't have enough credits to fulfill this and that, so you're considered a freshman. And I know some credits didn't transfer from community college, but some did. And I guess it was not enough to fulfill any of the cores or whatever at this university. So I was a freshman. I was a 22-year-old freshman, and you can just understand, like, I don't even know why, but I did feel hurt in the moment. I was like, dang it, like, I'm going to be here so I'm like 27, and I didn't even know that. I wasn't even sure about that. So, like, this is like such an awkward position. I thought I was a junior or something, but I'm a freshman. Imagine, like, having people ask my age and also me being a freshman. So sometimes I like my age. Sometimes I would not even say my age at all. Like, I would get so mad if teachers would randomly pick me, because like there'll be some teachers who like were trying to do example and be like, oh, like, how old are you, what year did you graduate? And I was praying to God that no one even asked me that, because I didn't want to tell them, oh, like, yeah, I'm 22 and a freshman. Like, I want to know like what they're thinking in their head. They probably didn't even care at all, but I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, are they gonna be like I was lazy, like I didn't go to school automatically, or I was like doing big things or something? And I remember I actually was talking to this guy, and he was like, wait, you're this was like, how old was I think this was when I was 23. He was like, oh wait, you're 23. I'm like, yeah, I am. He was like, oh, so are you graduating soon? I'm like, no, I'm still sophomore or something like that. And he was like, oh, okay. I was thinking like, oh, you're 23, you're like supposed to graduate. Probably was a very innocent comment, but it really got into me because I'm thinking, dang, like, can hurt you, which it shouldn't. Like, it really shouldn't hurt you, because like I said, college is filled with a plethora of ages. But in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like, I am the oldest one in this class, probably. I'm the oldest one in here. I'm the oldest one here. And like, no. And I remember one time I was also in a Spanish class. This guy asked me, oh, like, how old are you? I told him I was 22 at the time, but I was actually 23. But he was also like 22, but he was actually about to graduate that semester. I wasn't even close to graduating, but I said like, oh yeah, I'm like, we're the same age, we're 22. And life and TV shows us like the way of, yeah, you're supposed to do this at this age, this at this age, this by this age. And it's crazy because I just feel so behind in everything. Like, to be so truthful, I don't have my license. I'm 24 years old. I don't have my license. And that's not to say I wasn't trying to get it. Like, when I was 18, I would pay for my own lessons to be taught by this driving instructor. And then I'll pay to rent a car for the driving test. And I always have such a big anxiety or panic attacks every time I take the test, because just having someone in there watching me is the scariest thing. Like, I would shake and I would cry. And I can't tell people that because I just don't want to. But then I tell people like, oh, I don't have my license, I don't drive. They're like, oh, really? Wait, how old are you again? And it's just like those type of reactions. I can't really get deep into like, oh yeah, I have panic attacks during the test, because first, don't really want to hear that first, and also we know how the time goes, you know? Same thing with college. Like, I would be so embarrassed to like post myself doing things on my university campus, like if I'm part of like a program or something, because I feel like my followers, like all my followers are people I went to high school with, and most of them are graduating or graduated already, college. So I'll be so embarrassed, like I'm posting these things and they're gonna think like, oh, like Joyce is still in school, like what is she still doing there? Is she supposed to be graduated? She's gonna graduate soon, all those stuff. And it does suck because it really does put you down a lot. Like just being my age and not having a car and also still being in school. You can imagine how many places I don't want to be just because I'm scared of running into people or people acting like, oh, so what are you doing now? This is funny because my high school actually had a 5-year reunion, and I didn't really know about it as much. I think we had a Facebook group and I kind of like heard about it, but I didn't know it was, I just saw those random events people have. So I remember I had this friend, she messaged me on Instagram and she was like, hey, like, are you going to the family reunion thing? I'm like, oh, I wasn't sure. I didn't even know I could really go. I really thought it was for like the people who are popular in school. Yeah, I thought it was just for them. And she was like, no, let's go. Like, she was simply like, they were trying not to give invites to us, like the black people who went to the school. Like, let's go, let's tear it up, whatever. And I remember telling her, I'm like, I was like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to see people like I'm still in college. And I wrote that because I'm like, I really don't want to run into someone at that place, first pull up in the Uber or something, and then, ask me questions like, oh, so like, what do you do? Where do you work? I'm like, oh, I don't have a job. I'm in school. I'm still trying to finish college. In fear of not wanting to be seen and not wanting anyone to just know the position I was in, it brought my self-esteem down because first I'm dealing with just being in school still, not having a car to really go most places. I'm also dealing with like, just issues going on with family and stuff, and just not having a job, meaning not funding myself a lot. And I never, ever want to come off as looking lazy to some people. Like I'm already big, so obviously some people might really think I'm lazy, but I'd never want to come off being like, oh, this girl, she's not been trying, she's just slacking off. Like, look at her taking the public transportation in these places, like she can't even get herself a car. It's really annoying. But I kind of told myself, I'm like, listen, I actually saw this quote somewhere else too. I just don't remember verbatim. Like a parent was telling the kid like, oh, you should become a doctor, go into doctor. And the kid was like, oh, I'm gonna have to be in college for like 10 years. I'm gonna graduate when I'm 30. But she was like, okay, well, at least you're gonna be 30 and a doctor, which is so true. Like, yes, I will graduate pretty late and later than normal, but I'm going to be that age and have a good job. Like, I guess there's some people you could say, like, who would be that age and, doesn't have, like, a very good stable job. But I'm going to be the age I graduate and have a stable job. So I'm like, why am I rushing to be someone right now? Like, 24 is, yes, it's old, but 24 is young. Like, literally, when I think about it, 4 years ago, I was 20. Like, 4 years ago, I just got into my 20s. And guess what? 4 years ago was also a pandemic. So I was navigating my early 20s also amidst a pandemic. Like, I can literally tell my grandchildren that, like, yeah, like my early 20s started off with me being in a pandemic. So I feel like I need to give myself some grace. Like, yes, I get it. Hustle life, work life. We need to give ourselves some grace, people, because we are literally just humans that just went through a pandemic. Like, yes, people say like, oh yeah, that thing was 4 years ago. No, COVID changed so much for everybody. Like, it changed so much. It's still going on, COVID, but the quarantine stuff, it all changed people. And hate's a strong word, but I really dislike seeing online where people are like, if you're not doing this by age 30, you are a failure. You should have done this. You should have done this. Like, people on the internet crying because they're not at the spot they want to be at this age. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we need to, like, give ourselves a break. We are just humans. Like, we are still trying to navigate this life that we're trying to adapt to, on top of living through a global pandemic, being quarantined, losing jobs, going through mental health issues, and we are just normal human. Like, it's so crazy to think that this hustle culture, like, I get hustling is good. Like, do the side business, do the side stuff, but this hustle culture that people see you sitting and they were like, you should be sitting, you should be standing up, you should be doing this and that. Like, no, because if you're constantly like fighting through this hustle culture to like be on top and be more, you're gonna lose yourself. That's just my opinion. You're gonna lose yourself trying to be this person so fast, because then once you get to this goal you want, you don't even know what to do with it. Like there's rich people who don't even know what to do with their money, but they're still there and they're living, but they still have some issues. And I was really just beating myself up, being like, gosh, I am 23. I should be graduated by then. Like I need to have a job already. Like I need to be working in the healthcare field already. I should still be in school. I really shouldn't. Like, yes, it would be good if I started early to have a job early, but I feel like I'm just good where I am right now. I'm not saying I'm getting comfortable. I'm always striving to do better, do other things, but there's so many things in life you could do. It's not just about like having that end goal with money. Like I still have passion. I have passion for writing, being an author, and I'm still working through that and also going to school at the same time. So I feel like if you have just a passion you want to do, you could just do it and not have anyone tell you, yeah, but you should also have your bachelor's in this so you can have this job. Like, why? Like, why are you so... Hey guys, we're on my laptop now. My phone was trying to tell me to hurry this video up, and I will. I'm almost done. Ooh. Hustle culture, it's such a toxic culture. Like, I get like cute side hustles. Like, we can be like, oh yeah, I like crochet at the side and I want to sell things to people. That's good. But people are here like, you need to have $500,000 in your bank by age 26, or you're a failure. You're a failure. You're poor. You're poor. It's just like, people need to live a little, because I feel like this is just my opinion. I don't want to limit anyone's, issues or something, but I feel like us wanting to be at this certain places at certain ages, and we're so focused on that can really cause a mental health issue, like a depression or something, because we're looking at other people and we're like, gosh, like, why don't I have that? This is why literally half the time, I actually post about this on my Lemonade, like every other week or so or month, I delete my, and this is just me personally, but I delete my Instagram app because I get so tired of the feelings I get when I look at other people's stories or something. Like, people are posting like cute restaurant dates with their man, or things like that, them traveling. I'm like, I really cannot take this, and I start feeling myself being like a hater, and I don't want to be a hater. So I think I need to go on Do Not Disturb. This video's almost done, okay? I think. No, I'm almost done. I just find myself deleting the app. I'm like, I can't do this because I feel like I have a jealousy towards my followers, and I shouldn't. So I delete the app, point blank, period. It does wonder for me because it gives me time to focus on my own craft, and obviously focus on school, but also focus on what I like to do and not look at what other people are doing, because they also probably have their passion, and that's how they're able to travel and do all these fun things. I say all this to say that hustle culture and I want to say America runs on Duncan. I don't know how that makes sense in anything I'm talking about, but I feel like it does. So I'm just going to say America runs on Duncan. If you get what I'm saying, maybe. To tie us all in is, this is why I was so just embarrassed of people knowing first my age, no, my grade, in college, because I just felt like I was going to get stones thrown at me. Figuratively, of course, but half the time, there's really people who don't care, unless there's that one big a-hole that makes fun of you for that, which that guy sucked anyway. But I feel like everyone in college is really in their own process, their own wavelength, so I feel like they really just don't care, and that sounds very bad, but they just don't care about someone else's life, which is good. That's why I really love being in college, because literally people are on their own wavelength and they're focused on their own life, trying to get to their own goals. They're not really focused on, hey, that person right there is 23 and a freshman. Like, what's up with her? Like, what's up with that? No one cares about that. And I feel like everyone needs to know that people just don't care. And if the people do care, then just forget them. They should be in your life anyway. You need to be around people who first wants to build you up and encourage you, not like make fun of you for it because you're not here at this certain time. But you know, it takes time, and I have had multiple people tell me like it takes time. You're okay. You're in a good spot, but it's just you know, I struggle with understanding that. And it's funny because recently, there this semester I'm taking online classes. I'm only online. I'm hoping to be on campus next semester, but this semester I'm only taking online classes, and I've noticed there's like a change in me because I had this guy in class when we did like breakout rooms. He acted like how old I am, and I quickly said 24 because I am 24. I did not lie about my age, and obviously I was making a joke, be like, "Oh my gosh, he like exposed my age," but I really just didn't care as much. It's like, yeah, I'm 24. It's not like I'm gonna bite you guys. Like that's, I feel like that's what I really thought people would think of having like just someone my age in their class, and I'm like, I'm 24 and I'm in college, and at least I am in college here, you know, trying to make a difference and doing something I love. Like I could have went my life with not going to college, and I low-key was thinking that I was like, maybe like college isn't for me because I'm always having these financial issues that caused me to stop going to school. Maybe God's telling me like, don't go to school, do something else. And it wasn't that. It's just me doing things on the impulse and not understanding how schooling and stuff works. But um I feel like college is just the place for me. I love the routine I'm beginning into with college, and I just like it. And the day I graduate, I'll obviously be super excited. That's still not for like 2 years, but it's okay because we're still here. We're still going strong, and we're still going to work through college. And I think I just have this fire in me, something to just always make someone proud and just be able to provide for my family and give them things that, you know, I was able to get or something, and, you know, just do big things for my family. So this is why I'm so just adamant, and I was so adamant and just wanting to do things quick, wanting to get things done quick. But yes, it takes time. And if you're watching this today and you are a 23, 22-year-old freshman in college, you're not alone because I'm here and I'm being so transparent right now. Like, I never even will tell people, oh, I don't have my license, but I said in this video, and I just want to be more transparent. I want to be more just open, not too open, of course, but I want, I just want people in the world to know that you don't have to be, there's no building blocks or no like steps where you have to be at each age. There's so much people who goes through like so much worse things that prevents them to get to a certain step at their age. So I say all this to say you guys are loved and you are very successful wherever you are. Like, if you feel like you're not doing enough, you're doing enough. And if you really want to do more, of course, go ahead and do more. Thank you guys for watching this random rant. I literally had to stop my homework because I was like, I just need to talk about this, okay? Like, I just need to talk about this. Like, obviously, I want to be out of college because I'm tired of doing homework and discussion posts. But we're here and we're thriving. We're vibing. Ooh. We're just having fun. Yeah. I hope I was, I mean, I hope I was like clear in this video. I don't know if I made my point come across, but that was just me saying like how I would hide my age during college, and now it's just like I don't care. Like, if people want to ask me like, oh, like, why are you this age, like this age in this grade in college, I'll be like, well, I had some issues that prevented me from going to college. Easy. And yeah, thanks for watching this video.